Back in March, I made a post in the Discord. And that post talked about my goals for 2026 and 2027. One of those things that is on that list is getting out of debt. And one of those debts that I'm in, actually it's the only debt that I'm in, is student loan debt. So in this video, we're going to go over and talk about my plan to be able to get out of that debt through trading. This is my official video that's talking about this. In this video, I'm just going to talk about the plan, the strategy, the challenge itself. I have until January of 2027 to be able to pay this debt off. The debt right now is frozen. My student loans have been frozen until January 2027. And so I sat down and I said, well, how can I do this? And I thought to myself, and I was like, okay, how about we use the snowball method? And so I sat down, I said, well, how can I make this apply to trading? I was like, okay, well, the snowball method is nothing but taking your lowest payment and then snowballing it into your largest payment. So I said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply that to challenges. So what I decided to do was I took a 5K and then I snowballed that into a 10K, which is where we currently are. I didn't really document it, but that is how I got here. Now, I have since lost that 5K because I realized that it was too small. It was too small capital for me to be able to trade in the first place. As of last week, I am 10K funded with Right Funding or Right Funded. They are my favorite prop firm at the moment. Because they allow me to trade news, whether I'm on the challenge phase or whether I'm on the funded phase. I do have another 10K with Alpha Capital that I'm on the first phase of, and I need about $500 to pass that first phase, and then we'll get into the second phase. Next stage in this is to flip this 10K into a 25K, 50K, or 100K. That will in turn allow me to be able to start the challenge the way that I want to start it. Now, when it comes to paying off this debt, what I'm going to do is I want to take the profits from those payouts and I want to begin to pay off the debt. So right now we're 10K funded. The next thing I want to do is get a payout that is enough for a 25, a 50, or 100K challenge. Hell, if I can get it to a 200K, that's even better. We're not going to push it. Just because we have more capital does not mean that we have to abuse it. That was my thing. And so that is the goal. That is the plan, is to get funded at least 1 to 200K. I don't need $1 million in funding, or at least just yet. I don't need $1 million funding just yet. I just need between 100 to 200K. I probably don't even need that, but that's what the goal is. So just to recap, we are snowballing our funding from a 10K to possibly 100 or 200K. Then we're going to use those payouts to be able to pay off the debt a lot faster. I know that with patience and discipline and the right strategy, we can do this. I've done it to become 5 and 10K funded. Hell, I've done it to become 100K funding. I've done it to become 50K funded. I've done it before. I can do it again. I'm going to document all of this in the Discord. I'm going to put some of this on YouTube, but for the most part, it's going to be in the Discord. So if you guys want to join me on that challenge, you can join me in the Discord. The link is going to be in the description box below and or the pinned comment. One thing that I will not be doing is using my own money that I work for in my day-to-day life to pay for challenges. So what I have done is I have taken the money that I've gotten from those payouts and I have put them in my little business bank account. And if I should so happen to fail this challenge for any reason, then I will use that money to pay for another challenge. Let's hope we don't get to that bridge. We ain't got to cross that bridge. But if we should so happen to do something that is stupid, silly, something like that, then I have money to go and pay for that. It will not come out of my own pocket. Okay, so because we want to get into the habit of using the market's money to pay for our challenges, not the other way around. I don't want to keep putting money into the market that came out of my pocket. Y'all be blessed, take care. Discord is in the description box below and or the pinned comment, and I'll see you on another video. Toodles.